He on talking about, man. What's good with the people, man? He on talking about. It's your partner, man. Who? Oh, it's your partner, man. You know what I'm talking about, man. How's y'all doing on the sudden signs? It's really hard. That's gonna be the name of the video. But how's you doing on this soggy Sunday? That ain't gonna never change, man. They ain't gonna never change, man. You know what I'm talking about. Shout out Cardell and the Eatman family, Big Ken and them, Lil Rube. You know what I'm talking about, Sis Ruby. You know what I'm talking about, Calvin and all them. You know what I'm talking about. I see the Eatman family, right? You know what I'm talking about. Shout out to everybody, but this one right here is gonna be called Sudden Sign. You know what I'm talking about? We gonna get into it, but before we do that, what's good people like hee ha ha. You know what I'm talking about, man. Ken in the pen, man. All my folks incarcerated, all my folks who ain't, man. Everybody on the bottom of that thing, everybody on the top of that thing, man. Keep that head up. You know what I'm talking about? Keep pushing. We gonna get through it to get to it, man. You know what I'm talking about? Did I say Ken in the pen? I don't know, but if I didn't, go get that stick up in stores now, man. You can go and get you one off of 76 in MacArthur. They sold out. They'll be back though. Giants Liquor is what I'm talking about, man. You know what I'm talking about. 82nd Hillside. You know what I'm talking about. Barbershop. You know what I'm talking about, man. They say somebody put them in their stores in the hundreds. Thank you, young man. Now you know, cause I tell you every morning, but just in case you forgot or you don't know who I am, you know what I'm talking about. You can come get them from me, man. You know what I'm talking about. You can come get them from me. You know what I'm talking about. Did you see them? You know what I'm talking about. But if all else fails, man, and I mean if all else fails, man, you can go and grab you one off of Amazon. Make sure you copy a hardback, man. You know what I'm talking about. Funkadai trying the stores now. Make sure you go to Amazon, copy you a hardback, man. You know what I'm talking about, babe. Stick Up 2 coming soon. Funkadai trying 2 coming real soon. You know what I'm talking about, man. Uh-oh, what's that swinging finger, young man? You wouldn't be talking about this one right here with it. Yeah, that's the one, bro. Come on with it, man. Go on with it, man. Worldwide INC, man. Worldwide Incorporated, man. Come on. Worldwide. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't gonna say, bro, what does that mean? I'm gonna continuously tell you it means everybody, man. You know what I'm talking about? Indugu, Fresh, Mike, Lil Rue, not Lil Rube, Lil Rue. You know what I'm talking about? Tata the player, that's who comes next, man. Same thing, bro. Everybody on the bottom of that thing, everybody on top of that thing. Keep that head up, man. You know what I'm talking about? Keep pushing. We gonna get through it to get to it, man. You know what I'm talking about? Now let's get through these disclaimers, man. You know what I'm talking about? But before we do that, Mama says and Mama always says, boy, brush them whiskers when you're on TV. Especially on Sunday. You know what I'm talking about, man. Especially on Sunday, man. You know what I'm talking about? Even if they got a hole in them. You know what I'm talking about, man. Coffee Chronicles. Classic roast, piping hot. You know what I'm talking about? Classic roast, piping hot. He say, "What's wrong with you?" Yeah, now good brother like me, man. I don't promote no drug usage. Good brother like myself, I don't promote no drug sellage. You know what I'm talking about? Good brother like myself, I don't promote no alcohol consumption. And don't take a sip of the sippage. You know what I'm talking about? Don't do it, man. Good brother like myself, you know what I'm talking about, man. I don't promote no crime. You know what I'm talking about? Good brother like me, you know what I'm talking about? I don't promote no violence. You know what I'm talking about? Good brother like myself, you know what I'm talking about? I don't promote no domestic violence, man. Keep your hands off the people, you know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Don't, you know what I'm talking about? Promote, you know what I'm talking about? No, negativity, you know what I'm talking about? No, 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 man. Me, man, I don't promote shit, man. You know what I'm talking about? They was talking to me, man. They was talking, bro, man, man, I just don't promote shit, man. You know what I'm talking about? They was talking to me. All I promote is y'all go ahead and do what you're going to do with your time, young ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you find the right thing to do with your time, young ladies and gentlemen, because we just don't know how much of the stuff we got, young ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm talking about? But a good brother like myself, you know what I'm talking about? Man, I ain't prejudiced. No, no, no. You know what I'm talking about? Good brother like myself. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't got nothing against the sexually different. No, no, no. You know what I'm talking about? Good brother like myself. You know what I'm talking about, man? I ain't got nothing against the little people. No, man. No, you see me? You know what I'm talking about? I ain't got nothing against nobody. You know what I'm talking about? They was talking to bruh, man. I just love me some everybody. You know what I'm talking about? As a matter of fact, I'm on a quest. You know what I'm talking about? Bring that peace, you know what I'm talking about, that joy, you know what I'm talking about, that love, you know what I'm talking about, that love. Back to YouTube community, man. You with me? Come on over here, fuck with your partner. Hey. Come fuck with nigga one time. You know what I'm talking about? Oh man, how's y'all doing on this soggy Sunday? The day that ain't gonna never change. You know what I'm talking about, man? Yeah, I'm gonna talk about, man. This right here is gonna be called Sudden Sign, man. He said, bro, what you talking about? We gonna get into it, man. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to all the bitches who don't like animals and still. I done fucked up, man. Shout out to all the bitches who love animals but still won't watch that cat. You know what I'm talking about? Don't worry about it. I see. Fuck it. You know what I'm talking about? They say sudden signs, man. Look, this motherfucker gonna bounce all the way around. You know what I'm talking about? We gonna get the bouncing like that ball on the words, man. You know what I'm talking about? Say, what did you up here talking about today, bro? Sudden signs, man. This is the first leg of this conversation. You know what I'm talking about, man? Because I've been watching this for the thing. And this one right here is really to the older people. You know what I'm talking about? Our elders. Because in this technology world, it'll play tricks on you. You get what I'm saying? So you'll be sitting here, especially an old person. You'll be sitting here talking about, I don't know anything. You'll be sitting here talking about, I was thinking about buying me a Benz. You know what I'm talking about? This is what the old person said. And the next thing you know, when they cut on their phone, they, you know what I'm talking about, this S-Class. You know what I'm talking about? On their phone. And they thinking that's a sign from God or something. You know what I'm talking about? But it ain't. It's just the algorithm on your phone listening to your conversations. You feel what I'm saying? And I know y'all know what I'm talking about. You get what I'm saying? You'll be talking about some shit, then as soon as you go to your phone, that same shit you was just talking about to be on your phone. And that ain't nothing but your phone is a motherfucking computer, and everything you say, your phone trying to, basically like that shit Cuddy Cuz was talking about, nigga, like your phone is taking basically the intel of you. You get what I'm saying? They doing some other shit with this information, y'all. I don't know what they doing, man. You know what I'm talking about? But it's like they taking the senses of us with their phone. I mean, with our phone. You get what I'm saying? So like an old person been to said something, and they been to saying that shit on their phone, and they been to swear to God it was a sign from God, and it ain't, man. It's just these people playing with you. So don't get sucked in like that. You get what I'm saying? Where you be talking about some shit, you know what I mean? Like, I was just thinking about buying a dinosaur, you know what I'm talking about? As soon as you get on your motherfucking phone, they got a pterodactyl on there for $3,500. You know what I'm talking about? That ain't no sign from God, man. That's just these people trying to play you. You know what I'm talking about? And keep you as a consumer, man. That's all that is. You get what I'm saying? So to all my nephews, sis, old man, old lady, nephew, sis, old man, old lady. Hey, you know what I'm talking about? To all my older folks, my elders, y'all, that's not a sign from God. That's just your phone. And for some reason, that shit just happens to everybody. You get what I'm saying? Because your phone is a computer, and that motherfucker is downloading intel on you. You know what I'm talking about? That motherfucker is all the shit you search, and why you think all the like you can search one thing and hella shit similar will pop up on your phone. That's just your phone trying to figure out what you like. You know what I'm talking about? I'm telling you, man. You know what I mean, man? Sudden sign. You know what I'm talking about? And I don't know why we like that. Because we won't pay attention to the real signs. God to give your ass a million signs, you'll keep overlooking the motherfuckers to I don't know, to get to something that you want. I guess I don't know. Like I say, I ain't no like I just believe in God. I ain't no religion people. I ain't no religion person. You know what I mean? I just don't get into it. But at the same time, I don't have a problem with anybody who is a religious person. You know what I mean? Cause I don't know. Cause I get so much hate from the church people. You get what I'm saying? Coffee Chronicle. Cause they act like I'm up here making a mockery of God or something, mocking God or something. And that ain't nowhere near what I'm doing. It just ain't. I'm just telling you this shit how I see it from my motherfucking eyes. You know what I'm talking about? And once again, that's why I don't get into the Bible. You know what I'm talking about? Because the Bible is just the ultimate. To me, that was the first brainwashing that we seen. You get what I'm saying? It just was, bruh. But we ain't gonna even get into the origins of, you know what I'm talking about, how we got our hands on the book. You know what I'm talking about? We ain't gonna get into the origins of that. But this is what I wanted to tell y'all, sis. You know what I'm talking about? This is directly for the sis. You know what I'm talking about? And I'm talking about the young sis, the middle-aged sis. You know what I'm talking about? The old sis and the older sis. You know what I'm talking about? Older sis. They say, bro, you just be up there fucking with it, don't you? They say, bro, why do you fuck with it like that? And I'm gonna continuously tell you, because if I don't, ain't nobody else is. Nah, you know what I'm talking about? Ain't nobody else is. Nah, you know what I'm talking about? But sis, this for you. And this is some shit I've been seeing, sis, since I was a little kid. I'm gonna tell y'all one of the biggest problems we got in our community. You say, bro, you always telling us something. I'm just telling you, man, I ain't telling you shit, nigga. I'm gonna tell you, go and live your life just like I did, man. Whatever results you get, come back and tell us. You know what I'm talking about? That's what I did. This is my intel from the adventures of the light skinned DB. You know what I'm talking about? This is all the shit I done found out. You get what I'm saying? But on some real shit, sis, since I've been little, I'm gonna tell y'all, I don't know if anybody, I'm sure somebody else has seen it. You know what I'm talking about? Coffee Chronicles. But I don't know if anybody ever pays attention to this dynamic. You know what I'm talking about? And this is why a lot of you sisters, uh, nephew, sis, old man, old lady, nephew, sis, old man, old lady. You know what I'm talking about? This is why a lot of y'all, you know what I'm talking about? This is where your problem come in at. Your first problem come in there because you just don't want to listen. That's where your motherfucking first problem come in at. You know what I'm talking about? You don't listen. You know what I'm talking about? So that's the first problem. This is another one of the problem. You know what I'm talking about? They come after the first one. Since I've been little, man, I've been sitting there watching women undermine their motherfucking household. The nigga that's in their household, they won't listen to that nigga. They'll argue with that nigga just to go to church and listen to the preacher. And I ain't never understood that since I was little. I just don't. So you mean to tell me, like, you not married to the preacher, you got a husband, but for some reason, pastor got more say in your household? That don't make no sense. See, that only makes sense if you married to pastor. You get what I'm saying? Then pastor is supposed to be, you know, I'm talking about the voice of that household. But what ends up happening, especially in our community, pastor is just like that. He might as well file head of household on everybody taxes. You get what I'm talking about, man? Because pastor has the voice in the whole congregation, in the whole congregation household. So pastor basically got the final say. So your husband could tell you something, and you gonna go run it by pastor. Come on, sis. Coffee Chronicles. Pastor ain't nothing but a man, another man. Pastor ain't even your man. It's just your pastor. But for some reason, because he got that pastor in front of the man label, somehow y'all figure that pastor word, you know what I'm talking about, is more important than your husband's. You know what I'm talking about? Coffee Chronicles. You know what I'm talking about? And that's a problem we've been facing since I was little. And I just don't understand how our community just get, and I ain't talking about pastor, you know what I'm talking about? Shout out pastor. But I just don't get, you know what I'm talking about, around the world. You know what I'm talking about? I just don't get how pastor is in control of everybody else's household. You know what I'm talking about? I don't get how you would listen to pastor, you know what I'm talking about, before you listen to your husband. The man you chose to a bond with in front of God. You know what I'm talking about? And if you just take a look in your Bible, it says exactly that. You know what I'm talking about? It does. You know what I'm talking about? So while you letting pastor have the final say so about your household, do you realize that's a sin? You know what I'm talking about? Because ain't nobody supposed to come before your husband, so you know what I'm talking about. If we talking about wives and husbands, I'll just keep it real, man. And I just ain't never understood that, man. And the older I got, I just see bullshit. And I ain't talking about all the churches, because you really got something to stick to the code. You get what I'm saying? Help the people and all the shit, man. But I'm just talking about me. Since I've been living, I don't think I didn't even seen 10 of them motherfuckers with my own eyes. Now, I'm not saying that they not out there. I'm just talking about the ones I've come in contact with. And that's the reason I don't, to answer somebody else's question the other day. And that's the reason why I don't come up here with no, now, I'm telling you why I don't do something. I'm not talking about nobody else who does this shit. I'm telling you the reason why I don't do it. You know what I'm talking about? If you do it, salute. You know what I'm talking about? This right here is the reason why I don't do it. You know what I'm talking about? I gotta start fucking with it like that again, because some of y'all act like y'all don't understand. You get what I'm saying? The reason why I don't do that shit is because it reminds me of that shit right there. The reason I don't like church, because for years, ever since I was little, bruh, I watched the church rape. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about rape the people, man. You know what I'm talking about? I watched grandmas, man, finna get their last to the motherfucking pastor. Ain't even got no food in their house. But the pastor didn't believe them. If all they got to do is keep coming to give these offerings to God, and a blessing gonna happen for you, man. Come on, man. And that's the reason I don't get wrapped up into that shit, because it's just another form of brainwashing. That shit work as a cult. You get what I'm saying? It works as a cult. You know what I'm talking about? God gave me control of my own life. He told me to run everything by him. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't running shit by man. I ain't running shit by man. I ain't our woman. I ain't running shit by man or woman. You know what I'm talking about? I'll run something by you. Better hope you can get up. Coffee Chronicles. God damn. Shout out Black Ira, man. I'll never forget that. This is a little bit segue. I told you we gonna be bouncing like that ball. I told y'all when we was little. See, I was one of them niggas. Y'all don't even remember when we had 40 sacks on 75th, do you? Ooh, y'all don't even remember seeing Baby Cuz up out there rushing there and knock, do you? That was the second time I rushed the decoy. Man, they came through in the vet, man. You know what I'm talking about? They had 100. You know what I'm talking about? Look, this I should have knew it was a decoy. I just gave him 2 sacks. I ain't even give them their $20 change back. They just gave me $100 bills and jumped in the drive vet. They had a Barbie. They had to drop Barbie. You know what I'm talking about? And drove off into the sunset, man. I walked down there around Hillside, man. Every police in the neighborhood hit my ass up, man. That's when I had drug diversion. You know what I'm talking about? With my nigga Keith and Sophie. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out Keith. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, man. I don't even know where I was at. You see, our bread drift off back in the 90s. I told you I drift off back to 97, hella fast. You know what I'm talking about? I'm back though. It was fun. You know what I'm talking about? I don't even know what point I was making. I just know I was talking about them 75th. Y'all remember seeing Baby Cuz out there on 75th selling 40 sacks. You know what I'm talking about? Go back to what I was saying about the pastor and the household and all this religion shit, bruh. That shit worked too much like a cult to me. You know what I'm talking about? I just don't believe in being involved in anything that you can't answer. I mean, not answer, but question. You get what I'm saying? Because anything I ever been involved in, you can answer a question. You know what I'm talking about? I was involved in something. They say, man, if that shit ain't right, you ain't even got to go. You know what I'm talking about? You can't never send me to do nothing. You know what I mean? I'll go with you. You can't send me to do shit. You get it? I'll go with you. But you just sending me to do nothing. I ain't gonna. Can't send me to do nothing, nigga. And I learned that a long time ago when I was little. We gonna see who this is. Somebody might get their chance on TV, y'all. Man, that ain't nobody but AF, man. We ain't fucking with AF. But like I was saying, man, you can't send me to do nothing, man. You know what I'm talking about? Like I was finna say before, AF rudely interrupted us. You get what I'm saying? Like I realized that when I was little. Like it was motherfuckers with power that was seeing other motherfuckers. Then you'll realize they were sending people to do shit that they wouldn't even do. You get what I'm saying? That they ain't even had a heart to do. You know what I'm talking about? I'll go with you. You know what I'm talking about? That's all you gonna get up out of Baby Cud. Coffee Chronicles. But as we all know, Baby Cuz go by itself. Shout out Baby Cuz. They say Blood, you's a mess. Hey, you know what I'm talking about? Now this nigga act like he got something important to say. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't fucking with him, man. I ain't fucking. Make sure that's AF again. That's AF again. But yeah, man, on this motherfucking sudden sign, them don't be signs, y'all. And we be really ignoring the signs. You get what I'm saying? And that's another thing we good for as people. We ignore the signs, then complain about the results. You been had the sign. You been had the sign. Then we ignore them, then complain about the results. That's just what we do. But nephew, sis, old man, old lady. Nephew, sis, old man, old lady. You know what I'm talking about? Especially y'all sis, you know what I'm talking about? Young sis, middle-aged sis, old sis, older sis. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all need to cut that shit out. And all that shit be is a form of not listening to the nigga you done chose. That's all that be a form of. So let me just ask, because I don't know, sis, this is what I want to ask you. How does a pastor, another man that you didn't take vows in front of God, got more say so in your household than the man you took vows in front of God? Don't make no sense, sis. And y'all been doing that shit for years since I was little. Like y'all give another man control over y'all. You know what I'm talking about? And sometimes you niggas that be married to sis be going, I don't even see how you go that shit. Bitch, you go talk to that nigga, you can go live at the church. You know what I'm talking about? You better not come back up in this motherfucker and say nan thing that came up out of another nigga mouth. You know what I'm talking about? Unless you said, here go the money that nigga owed you. You know what I'm talking about? If you don't say nothing like that, you know what I'm talking about? Or here go the money that nigga gave me. You know what I'm talking about? Or something like that, man. Man, please, man. You can stay where you went. You go ask a question. You know what I'm talking about? But that's how y'all should be fucking up. And that's why you see around the world, that's why you see pastor fucking multiple people in the church. You know what I'm talking about? Because y'all give pastor the blueprint. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all let pastor know everything that's going on in your house. You know what I'm talking about? So you let pastor know how to play you. You know what I'm talking about? You done went to pastor with every problem you got in your life. You get what I'm saying? And let another man, you know what I'm talking about, who might not even have his life together, make the final decision on your shit. We got to stop doing this, people. You know what I'm talking about? All the church people going to be mad today, ain't they? But on the real, man. You know what I'm talking about? I love you, but man, fuck y'all too. You know what I'm talking about? I don't be giving a fuck about that shit, man. I don't. I see this shit with my own eyes. You can't tell me shit. You can sit there and want to be brainwashed if you want to. You know what I'm talking about? That ain't going to never be me. You know what I'm talking about? It's just not. I don't know shit like that. It just ain't. And y'all, there I go with that y'all shit again. We, you know what I'm talking about, as the people around the world, you know what I'm talking about, have a problem of just wanting to relinquish control of us to somebody else. You know what I'm talking about? It's like we always looking for approval or something from somebody else about some shit that we got to do. If you finna go do some shit, why do you need somebody else's opinion about what the fuck it is you finna do? I ain't never got that, man. I don't know, but I'm kind of old, so like, you know what I'm talking about. I done gathered up a lot of intel in my years. You get what I'm saying? So I just don't be really needing to ask nobody shit. And when I do, I'll call the people that I trust. Ask them. You know what I'm talking about, man. But other than that, man, it shit is what it is, man. But on the sudden sign, on the soggy Sunday, that ain't gonna never change. But the sudden signs, we ignore the real signs. You know what I'm talking about? Really, as people, we ignore a lot of shit until we find the shit that fits in with us. You know what I'm talking about? Like, we could be dead wrong. If somebody tell us we wrong, we gonna search for the motherfucker who agree with us. Coffee Chronicles. And we do that so we won't be wrong in our head. Whatever wrong or right is, I don't really go by them. You know what's wrong and right on your own moral compass. You know what I'm talking about? And that's how you gauge that. But sis, we got to do better. We just got to do better. Just people, us, as the community, us. You know what I'm talking about? We just got to do better. Because we don't be wanting to correct the little shit where we be wrong. Or, like I said, the first thing we do, we could do, we don't even got to correct nothing just off top, bro. We could just stop running fast backwards. Everybody just come to a halt. You know what I'm talking about? What was the old school? You're doing too much. Slow your roll, pump your brake, take your foot off the clutch. You know what I'm talking about, man? Just slow down, man. You know what I'm talking about? All we got to do is stop. We ain't got to turn around and nothing. Let's just work on stop running backwards. You know what I'm talking about? Now, if everybody could just accomplish that, everybody just be still for a minute. You know what I'm talking about? Once we get everybody to stop, then we can talk about what we need, our next step. But first, let's stop. You get what I'm saying? Because a lot of this shit we be out here complaining about and acting like it's tearing us down, bro, we could prevent. We just could. If we just worked on us just a little bit more, instead of trying to work on everybody else, if we just stopped and try to work on us just a little bit more, man, we could get somewhere, man. I'm telling you, we could. I done seen it before. But on this Sunday right here, this the one I'm gonna leave you church people with, man. You know what I'm talking about? Like, now just think around the world. How many pastors and all this old stuff, right? All these people telling y'all like they closer to God than you is. And that's how that shit gets brainwashing. All that church and he's the head of that shit don't mean nothing. It really don't. The church and the pastor and all, man, that shit just like having chains and watches. That shit don't mean nothing. That shit, that's a label. That's just stuff, right? But it automatically makes you put your guard down. Because in your brain, if we go into a church, it automatically got to be good shit going on up in here. And that's just not the case. That's just not the case. But for some reason around the motherfucking world, man, you know what I'm talking about? We go listen to another man and give him more control over our life than the motherfuckers that be in our household, you women. Y'all give the pastor more control of your life than you give your husband. You listen to the pastor, but don't listen to your husband. And that's what's wrong with half you bitches. I'm gonna say young ladies, man. That's what's wrong with half y'all though, for real. Because you just don't want to listen. And if you was fucking with pastor, you wouldn't listen to him either. You know what I'm talking about? You'll find another pastor to listen to. That's just your way of not listening. That's just your way of undermining the nigga in your house. Talking about what pastor said. Man, please. Y'all give people more control over y'all than they need to have. Y'all be valuing the wrong shit. Y'all just do. Before you value anything, you got to start with yourself. You just do. And if you value something more than yourself, you know what I'm talking about, you in for a world of trouble. You know what I'm talking about, man? Remember, only you could prevent forest fire. You know what I'm talking about? And if you don't remember nothing here and nothing else, you know what I'm talking about? Always remember, man, don't cause nothing. Show a little bit of that love.